Hi, I'm Borkon. Glad to have you here. Welcome back. And as you can see, we are once again in the Witch Swamp area, where I'm still working on preparing the land for the World Eater. And the next step is to remove trenches here. They only need to be 3 blocks wide. It's not 15 blocks like here. I just need 3 blocks. And yeah, I'm not digging by hand. Come on. I designed this. And I have never tested it. Well, I have tested it in creative for a few minutes, and it seems to do the job. Of course, I didn't design the components. The components are basically semi-standard. This is a TNT duper, exactly the same that was used in the machine that made this trench, and then there is a self-returning flying machine, because why not? I was too lazy to build a return station on this side, other than just placing an obsidian block. Let's hope it works. I am a little bit worried. Okay, I will not get damaged. That stuff... Nah, the ender chest will survive. Let's see. It does things. Yeah, okay. I probably need to be a little bit more careful about the water here. But everything else seems fine. So I should have made the trench a little bit wider with respect to removing the water. Okay, now we know. I will make it wider next time. It's not a big deal. Yeah, but I'll keep doing this, and I'll update you when something interesting happens. And the trench is here, and it's actually just barely wide enough. Just dropping a TNT in a line was pretty much enough. I think I might be having 1 or 2 blocks sticking out, but I can do that by hand, like just maybe this block is too much, so I land here, remove it, and maybe that is too much. You know, that kind of stuff. This is not a big deal. And other than that, yeah, it was a very smooth process. Interestingly enough, I noticed that the removal of lava here was almost as much as the big trenches. And it is because once a lava lake starts pouring out, it just keeps going and going. So if I just touch a lava lake or a lava pond or whatever you want to call it, I need to clear most of it out. This one I was a little bit lazy with, but it is just perfect because I need the trench to be at, I think, this block, or maybe this block, so it's wide enough. So yeah, it's fine. So now I just need to redo the whole process over here. And despite it being a fifth of these, it takes at most, or it takes around half the time of the big trench, so it's still a lot of work. But now I have a really good hang of it. Now I know exactly how to do. So let's do that, and we'll be ready to start building the World Eater after that. I am very happy that I got the sponges, because drying this out was so much easier without trying. Like, you can see I tried to start dividing it in the middle here, and then I just decided to, meh, I'm not gonna do it, and I just spammed the sponges, and 4 stacks of sponges was enough for clearing all of this out. And I didn't even need to go dry them. And drying sponges now is super easy. So we have the next bomber. I might have built it a little bit too close to the edge here. I might have to rebuild it. And I also made a mistake because it's supposed to be 1 block to the left, but hopefully this will generate a good enough trench. And if not, I can just rebuild it. It's the clearing of the lava that takes time, not running this machine. So I already have my camera account with a body here to keep the machine loaded while I'm clearing lava. Let's go. Yeah, I needed to build it a few blocks that way because it will leave some blocks here. I might clear them out by hand. Let's see. Ooh, poor sheep. Bye-bye, sheep. We're gonna get this one done and we'll be ready. I hope to actually finish this in about hour and a half because that's when my backup runs and I want to have a fresh backup of my world that I can test this with. Well, I just did some very extensive testing in creative and I have bad news. Well, bad news for myself. I miscalculated this trench. So either I need to clear out the 2 blocks that are marked here, and I'm marking them. I created basically a Lightmatica blueprint that is just air, that is free wide, so I can place the blueprint and then see which blocks are wrong, and then it highlights it for me. So either I need to remove 2 blocks here that are sticking out, because otherwise, well, my sweepers of the World Eater are gonna get stuck. Or the other option I have, which is kind of tempting, but I don't think I'm gonna do it, is to add another bomber, and then I need to clear out 2 or 3 blocks on that side. And I was thinking, like, it's more tempting because it would be cool to clear this out by hand and have a smooth wall. But on the other hand, I'm gonna cover up the entire perimeter with a concrete wall anyway. So I think I'm gonna go for less work and clear this out because I can't do this with a bomber. Because with a bomber, this would, like, it would be even more lava, even more trouble. So I'm just gonna clear these blocks out by hand. And I did it, and it wasn't too bad. It was mostly of me flying into walls and using up my elytra durability and lots of rockets. But it also had another good side effect, and it is that I used the blocks I got to fill in the floor. Because, at least in the beginning, I will have to spawn-proof the floor, because, well, the World Eater can be made to stop at a very specific level, which I'm gonna do, so it will stop just above bedrock. And all the stone blocks in the floor are gonna be spawnable, and, well, that kind of defeats the entire purpose of building a perimeter. So I think what I'm gonna do is to have a smooth floor everywhere, in the beginning at least, before I put down, I don't know, carpets or slabs over the whole thing, or glass for that matter. I think what I'm gonna do is make it completely smooth and square, and then fill it in with water. Just 1 deep water. It should be relatively easy, it will just spread by itself. So yeah, I use the blocks to smooth it out, and it actually looks pretty neat when it's so smooth. The wall, I mean. And the floor as well. I mean, this bit here, which is, yeah, spawning all the things, also looks neat. I think all the details are actually done now. Everything is prepared. And the only thing left is to get 3000 slime blocks that I'm gonna need for building the World Eater. I might actually have it already. Let's see. Guess who was wrong about what materials were actually in short supply and which were abundant? Yeah, slime, not a problem. This isn't even half of the slime I have. Just by trading with the villagers over there, I think I gathered 2 shulker boxes of slime, because I was in the area, and that is pretty much enough. Or that is more than enough. 2 shulker boxes is more than enough. The real problem was this stuff. I needed a lot of cobblestone, and something that I didn't film out of just pure frustration. The blast chamber blew up, and yeah, I built a new one. I actually built a slightly newer design, the one that I published a tutorial for, but yeah, the cobblestone generator is running again. And I had to get a lot of cobblestone for pistons on observers. But these are the pistons and observers I'm gonna need. Those are the slime blocks. More than enough of redstone blocks, which is great. These are the miscellaneous materials, slightly more pistons. And I'm gonna use Netherrack as scaffolding because it's easier to break. Only reason. And these are the materials I'm gonna need now to build the World Eater. And look at that! It's the World Eater fully built! No, it isn't. It's just blueprint rendering issues through the glass. But that's the blueprint. Now we just need to turn this blueprint into reality. I am very intimidated, and I guess the thing we do when we're intimidated is to just dive into it and see what happens. There is a lot of repetitive block placing here. I should have time to finish for the stream tonight. And these are the last two errors on the machine that the verifier has been able to find. And it's built. I just need to place the minecarts carefully so that the TNT doesn't get triggered. And we are done. And the last thing that needs doing, and this scares me, is to arm the TNTs. I have good news, then bad news, and then great news. The good news is I built this correctly and the machine actually works. The bad news is when I started it for the first time, it completely melted my server. It was so in normally Minecraft needs 50 milliseconds to do everything it needs to have done every tick because it runs at 20 ticks per second. The tick is the processing that the server needs to do to move things, update redstone, move mobs around, stuff like that. That's a tick. And since we're running at 20 ticks per second, that means we only have 50 milliseconds to do it. Sometimes it takes longer, and then, well, people perceive it as the server lagging, because that's exactly what it's doing. So you want to keep all your machines below 50 milliseconds per tick. That's how people normally measure things in Minecraft, at least from the technical point of view. And yeah, the first time I ran this, it was eating 200 milliseconds per tick. It was absolutely unplayable. I couldn't fly around, I couldn't move around, I could barely turn it off. And then I started looking a little bit at how my server is set up. So that was the bad news. The good news, everything works. Bad news, nothing works because the server melts. And the great news is I updated the version of Java on my server to a much newer version because the default Java version that Minecraft is using is Java 8 and I updated to 14. And I also enabled some experimental garbage collection options. Don't worry if you don't know what that means. And now, when I'm running this machine, we're running at below 30 milliseconds per tick, which is amazing. It's 6 times faster. It's more than 6 times faster. It's almost 7 times faster with the new settings. And the only thing that were causing the issues weren't actually the dropping TNTs. The dropping TNTs were causing some issues. But what actually caused the biggest amount of issues, and you can see that with the carpet mod. You can write tick health, and that takes a few seconds, and then it gives you a report about what's taking time. And in my case, well, spawning, not important. Entities is taking time, and block entities aren't. And so we can type, okay, what entities are eating our time? We can type tick entities, and get a report from the carpet mod. And yeah, right now nothing interesting is happening, so zombies are eating my CPU time, and chickens and pigs and sheep. No big deal. The problem was when I was running it on the old Java version with the old garbage collector, the thing that ate the most CPU at 120 milliseconds per tick was pistons. I'm not going to run it more because I'm actually saving it for the stream. I want to run this machine together with my stream. But when I was running it and I tested it with those tools from the carpet mod, pistons were eating 120 milliseconds per tick. Don't know why, and don't know why they were fixed with a newer version of Java and garbage collection. Maybe it's just the server restart and I'm reading too much into upgrading the Java version, but I'm not gonna downgrade it now that I got the new one to work. So, yeah. I have a working machine and I have a working server despite the server being, it must be 10 years old. It might even be 11 years old, that machine that this world is running on, and it's still doing fine. I'm very happy about that, and yeah, we will be running this magical machine in a few hours. Or a few days ago for you. Well, that was interesting. As you can see behind me, the machine has been eating the world. The world eater is doing what the name suggests it should be doing. Except, yeah, if for those of you who saw the stream, know already what happened. So apparently, and I'm not the first one to discover this, but I didn't discover it soon enough. The machine has a bug, and the TNT that blows up here has a small chance of damaging the machine. And what happens later is this. I try to stop these machines. Some of them I managed to catch with obsidian, some of them just unloaded, and some of them just kept running away. And I guess some of them are still running, but the TNT on them stopped working. Yeah. Now, I made a decision at the end of the stream, and yes, I had to finish the stream early because, yeah, this is very, very frustrating when technology doesn't work the way it's supposed to. But I made a decision. I talked with the stream, and they agreed that I'm gonna restore a backup and try again because I I don't mind rebuilding the machine. I don't mind that. I mind this. I don't want to have this mess behind me. If it was just like that they got stuck and destroyed the lower part of the machine, I would be fine with rebuilding. I wouldn't even consider restoring a backup for it. Unfortunately, well, when it did this, I can't rescue this in any way. This is a mess, and I can't have this kind of a mess in the world. So yeah, I'm babbling, but the conclusion is I'm gonna restore a backup and try again. And this time, I will protect that bit of the machine that blew up. That's the short version of it. Let's see how much of this I get done. Because this has been it was a very fun stream, everything was going great, and then suddenly this happens and everything is frustrating. That's life. So the problem was that, like I mentioned earlier, that one of the TNTs could blow up one of these slime blocks, maybe even two of them. And I stole this solution from Logical Geek Boy, who ran into the same problem about almost a year ago. And his solution was to basically protect these blocks using water. Let's hope that works, because as you can see, my world is restored from a backup. I should be making advertising for some backup solution. Kids, That's why you take backups. Let's try this again. And once again, the machine is performing great. I really like this view. And the server performance is also good. Like, this is not a problem at all. I don't think the sweepers have yet reached the water level. No, that's in a few more moves. But they will soon be removing the big amount of water, and that actually causes some lag. That is probably the slowest the server runs. And there is a big trench here, and I already flew down there to remove a lot of obsidian because there were water sources in kind of awkward positions, just making a lot and a lot of obsidian. So I cleaned that one up. The only performance problem I'm having is actually not the server. The server is doing great. It is that my client is lagging a little bit, even though I am running like the pretty much lowest graphics settings I can be running right now. You can't really do this, I found out, with Optifine, because with Optifine I was getting maybe 2 or 3 frames per second. But with the sodium mod, yeah, 200 frames per second. It sometimes drop. It get little hiccups sometimes and drops for half a second or so, but then it recovers. It's fine. And it's fun to fly through the TNT rain. Except the lag spikes make it a little bit iffy. And now the most exciting part. And it is what happens when we remove the water. And yeah, the server performance just drops through the floor. But it's managing almost. You can hear that the TNTs have slowed down significantly. Aha, gotcha. This is the first obsidian that has shown up. I'm actually surprised that there wasn't any obsidian higher up. But I guess it's because, well, I've been helping a little bit, so I've been clearing out water sources that looked dangerous, like near ravines or stuff like that, that they could pour down. And I have already cleared tons and tons of obsidian at level 10, which I've done manually without the machine actually running. Like here. This is my nasty ravine. Oops. It's so hard to fly with the sudden lag spike that are not on the server side but are on the client side, where my FPS drops just terribly. Yeah, I cleared out tons and tons of obsidian. You can see the little bridges I made to walk around it. I'm just now babysitting the machine until it's done. We are now below the level where it blew up during my stream, so yeah, good progress. And also, I have made another backup when it was a little bit lower down, and the machine was stopped, so there was no risk of things blowing up. It's getting real close now, and yeah, the amount of obsidian is growing. Like, this is proper strip mining. You strip off a part of the land, and then you look for resources. That's the definition of strip mining. And this is what an accident looks like. A single block of obsidian that caught this thing. Now, I need to stop the machine. It's like the bigger patches of obsidian I can see, but it's the single blocks that are absolute nightmare to spot. No big deal. We stop the machine. We deal with it, and we can let that sweeper catch up. Not a catastrophic problem. Annoying, but it happens. And all the obsidian I just saw has been removed. And yeah, it looks like the sweepers are in place. Let's just have a peek here again. I'm really surprised I'm not seeing any diamonds, but maybe we need to go a little bit deeper than this. Is there any water that is risking to get here? Oh, this is... I have been already clearing here. Those are the bridges I married. Did I just miss this spot, or did new water come in? I think new water came in. Let's have a view from higher up. Doesn't look like there is anything. But yeah, we have definitely reached a level now where there will be much, much more obsidian. Alright. And this device has been doing its job admirably. I had to move it down once because it was almost running into the top of the machine, but that's not a big problem. This is not a machine you can AFK, you have to babysit it. Alright, we have now reached a point when we only need to run the machine, I think, twice. Because I don't want to destroy the stone between bedrocks. So I have less to fill in when filling this in. So that the floor is smooth. Which means I only need to enable the machine twice. I'm now stopping after every layer to definitely make sure that nothing goes wrong at the last bit. But yeah, let's do that. This is the amount of diamonds I have just spontaneously picked up that have been exposed by the machine. Not sure why I have them, because I'm not going to be using them for anything useful anyway. Maybe I'll build with diamonds, who knows? Right, now I shouldn't run the bombers anymore, because then they will start blowing up the stone between the bedrock, and I definitely want that layer of stone left. So we can cover all this in water. But I would still like to run the sweepers one more layer because there's so much lava left. I wonder... Like, I know how to restart the sweepers when they get stuck. I could just remove that little ore that is sticking out there manually. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna remove this layer manually. And then run the sweepers to get rid of that lava. And actually I can probably run the sweepers again without running the bombers. Yes, let's do that. That seems like a sensible thing to do. And I think since I don't want to use the bombers anymore, I should disarm the part of the machine that gets them running again. And I think it should be enough to just remove a few slime blocks here. And that should be fine. I don't need to do it on the other side because these will not start running again. Remove more slime blocks here. And yeah, okay. So the bombers are disarmed and they're not gonna run again. Maybe that was a terrible idea, I don't know. Probably not. This looks pretty neat at night. I'm tempted to leave it like this and just cover it up with glass. Of course, that's an absolutely terrible idea, but it really looks neat. And now it's a complete mob farm as well. I've gotta say, I did not expect this part to be the slowest part, but it's turning out to be the slowest part. So I cleared out this bit here. I kinda missed a lot here, but I'm just moving randomly at this moment. I'm not trying to even be following some regular pattern. I'm just destroying rocks when I see them and filling out the holes so that we don't end up with lots of holes. And this little bit that I've done here, which definitely isn't much, this bit here took an hour. A little bit over an hour, so I think All of this is maybe 5-6 hours at least, or even more. That's crazy. I didn't expect. Yeah, you can see I made just the corridor here for some reason. I probably was walking around here and destroying things. And I'm getting a massive amount of slime. Because slimes keep spawning and they don't leave me alone, so I have to destroy them. I have already 4 slime heads. Or 3. Something like that. Many, at least. But yeah, so did not expect this part to take that long. On the other hand, I didn't want to run the blowy uppy machines for one more layer, because then they would destroy this layer, and I would have to fill it in so that we can get the water spreading correctly. So I think I made the right decision, but it is a lot of work still. But we keep doing it until it's done. Alright, I think I got all the blocks and it's just the last little bit of the sweepers running. This has been a grind and a half. And a note to myself for future perimeter projects: mob switch. Absolutely a mob switch. Not for creepers or zombies or skeletons, they are completely harmless. It's the slime. The amount of slime. I think I have I have 15 slime heads or maybe 20 slime heads by now. And I think slime heads are relatively rare. So it's complete madness. They're everywhere. They're the only thing that spawns right now. Because, well, I sleep, so it keeps being day. It's absolute madness with the slimes. Alright. Get that sweeper running. So, like... Oh, come on. See, that's the problem. I can't even place a block accurately because the slimes are just everywhere. And now I can't place a block there because there are slimes in the way. It's just this. So yeah, next project requires a mob switch. Oh, stupid machine. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. And the big ones can even do some serious damage, especially when there's like 6 of them attacking me at the same time. I'm pretty sure that my next revenge farm will be a slime farm. Although it will not be a farm that I will take revenge on the mobs for the trouble they gave me building that farm, because I will have a mob switch for my big scale slime farm. But it will be revenge for this build. Because I don't even want to admit how many hours clearing this floor took, but it was more than, or maybe the same as building that thing. Alright, all the sweepers have swept, and the only thing left is to even out the wall so I can start placing the water. Hopefully I'm doing this right. This is another thing I haven't really tested properly, but I've done it before, so I think I understand how placing the water here should work. Just need to even it out. Now, the last thing that needs doing is to clear out all the holes that are remaining. I will leave the lava and just let it turn into obsidian, because that shouldn't matter. But I know I saw a hole here, that wasn't it. There it is. Holes like this need to be covered up because they will be... Oh, come on, slime. Because the holes like that will be preventing the water from spreading. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's keep it everything nice and tidy here. There is a hole there. And I already evened out the wall so that there is a straight line all the way around here. Let's just see if I missed something. Now my big question is, and I don't know in which order I should do it, and that is, should I dismantle the machine first? Oh, missed the spot. And then spread the water, or should I spread the water first and then dismantle the machine? I'm kind of tempted to leave the machine up, but then I think it's gonna be hard to pick up the components in the water. I guess I can use a boat. That shouldn't matter. Oh, yeah, and definitely, like, the lava will be catching most of them. So yeah, okay, I need to do that. But I need to remove the bottom part of the machine because that will prevent the water from spreading. Oh, stupid slime. I just picked up pieces of your brother. The slime farm is definitely a revenge farm. And now we just do this. I think I will only need to do it on 2 of the sides. Oops. And the rest should be magic. Now, unless I'm wrong, the magic should start happening any second now. Almost there. Just a few more. This one? Yes, this one. And let's fly up fast. And watch the magic unfold. This is awesome. And yeah, all the lava is becoming obsidianified. That's a problem, I can definitely see. I missed a spot. And there we go. Yep, this is awesome. I guess I need to be near for this to happen, because it stopped when I was out of range. Alright. Perfect. And the perimeter, well, I wanted to say it's done, but, well, technically it is usable. It's definitely not done, because there will be a floor here. And I will probably, well, I probably start with the farms, and then I will add walls. And after the walls I will add the floor. Or maybe the floor first and the walls, I don't know. This has been too much of a grind to try to figure out which part I want to do first and which part I want to do second. Let's just enjoy a functional perimeter. And let's see, is anything spawning? Nothing is spawning. I can stand here And we have 0 mobs. Oh, yeah. And just out of curiosity, how many resources this generated? Yeah. So halfway through doing the floor, I switched to a fortune pickaxe because, yeah, I needed something to repair my wings. Because you can see they've been used up because I've been flying so much. Actually, I have a problem right now, and that is these are all the rockets I have left for flying back home. Oops. I have no more rockets left. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so the redstone blocks come from switching to the fortune pickaxe. That many. I have tons of ore in case I'm run out of redstone while building the witch farm. No, that won't happen. Lapis, diamonds. No idea what I'm gonna do with the diamonds. I definitely mined twice as much, or maybe 3 times as much obsidian as this, but most of it I just mined over lava and I didn't even bother picking it up, or couldn't because it was like inconvenient. I was mining the obsidian to remove it, not to save it. And then we come to slime. All these slimes are just from killing slimes. That's complete madness how many it was. And I thought I had 20 heads, but I guess it was just 16, or maybe they're lost in some other box. And also coal, because yeah, if I ever need coal, I have it. Clay was nice to save. I only managed to rescue one dungeon, uh, but well, one is more than zero. Most of them got blown up. They got get blown up very easily by world eaters. I don't know why. This was a grind and a half, and next time I do it, I'm definitely not gonna try to squeeze everything in into one episode because that wasn't a good idea. This video is already 40 minutes long. Yes, I have been already doing some editing, and you're basically getting 1 minute of video for every hour I put into this. So that's definitely enough for today. It's now becoming a habit. I'm gonna stream after this episode comes out again. 8 in the evening Central European time, 7 in the evening UTC, if you like your timestamps that way. It will be on twitch.tv/Borkon underscore live, and we're gonna do something more relaxing as a stream. Not super grindy thing, but probably I will build a tunnel to this place because it was idiotic that I kept flying around on the Never roof when I have already started to build the tunnel network. So probably something relaxing, easy like that, where I don't need to focus all the time and we can have a good chat. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching and have a good perimeter. Bye!